Good morning, good morning. We're just going to start off with a lovely song, and Jamie Lula's going to join in with us. Pretty awesome. All right. Okay. I was born. What's the deal? I was born for this moment. I was put on earth for this time. I was born for this moment. I came here to shine. No one said it would be easy. No one said it'd be this hard. No one said it would be easy. No one said it'd be this hard. I'm gonna let my light shine. I'm gonna let my light shine. I'm gonna let my light shine. This is a time, this is a place. Are you ready for some divine grace? This is a time, this is a place. Are you ready for your own loving embrace? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. We were born for this moment. We were put on earth for this time. We were born for this moment. We came here to shine. Yeah. No one said it would be easy. No one said it'd be this hard. I'm gonna let my light shine. Yeah. I'm gonna let my light shine. I'm gonna let my light shine. This is a time, this is a place. Are you ready for some divine grace? This is a time, this is the place. Are you ready for your own loving embrace? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. I was born for this moment. We were born for this moment, yeah. All right, so welcoming you all here to the Universal Spirit Center this morning. Well done for making it in. You're superstars. So just make sure we're silencing our devices so they don't interrupt our beautiful reception this morning. What else do I want to say? I want to say hello to our featured artist, which is Jamie Lula. Welcoming Jamie Lula. And then Sounds of Spirit. So we have lovely Linda on piano. Thank you very much. We have marvelous Matt on the drums. And awesome Oliver on the bass. Thank you very much. Thank you. And here's Sarah.
Woo-hoo. Good morning. This is my first time I get to say I'm Rev Sarah, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here. Rev Kevin is away, has a Sunday off, and so I get to speak today. It's such a pleasure. Whoops. Just kidding. It's just how it is today. It's okay. Yeah. So welcome to Universal Spirit Center. We are a place that is thriving and inclusive and celebrating and ushering in experiences of divine love in ourselves and in each other for individual and global awakening. So I'm so happy to be here and to be in that experience with you today. So before we go further, I'm going to call up our beautiful, light Johnny, who does our youth ministry. He's our youth ministry director, so he's going to share for a moment. Hello, Luca.
Good morning, family. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Say hi to Luca.
Hello, Luca.
Today we will be making skeletons and we'll be shaking our bones a little bit. We have 2 more weekends left of Halloween fun. And we have lots more room for children, so bring your kids. We have babies, school age, and we also have room for teenagers and preteens. Today we have a spectacular Simon helping out. All right. Blessings.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh, so it's great to be here today and to welcome each other. So what I'd like to do is invite you all to, first we'll stand up and we're going to wave and welcome everyone online. I'm sure we have more than our usual fair share online today, so thank you for logging in. We're glad you're here. And then we'll just take some time. You can welcome each other and say good morning and greet each other. Oh, I did. So like Lauren Grace said, and thank you, Lauren Grace, for stepping in as our musical director today and our congregational music leader. Thank you all for being here. I know it took a little bit extra preparation and commitment to get here, so thank you for making your way here. I'll start off with some announcements. First, next Sunday is Halloween, but it's also the start of Dia de los Muertos, and so we're going to have a celebration with an altar here to honor those who have gone before us, those who have passed on and crossed the veil. So if you'd like to bring a picture of loved ones who have made their transition, bring it and add it to our altar next week, and we can celebrate together as community. So you're invited to do that. And then I am going to call up for Raj, and she's going to have another announcement, which is
Yep, thank you. Well, it's actually for Spirit in Action. So we're very excited to know that our former pre-COVID group that was very involved with social justice and other really important social issues is starting again today. We're having a quick meeting right after this service to brainstorm some ways that we can get involved. In the past, we've made meals for the homeless or the unsheltered. We've gotten involved with racial justice. We've gotten involved with women's issues. We've gotten involved with supporting vets. So we're looking for volunteers. We really do need, even if you don't want to be part of Spirit in Action every month, you can certainly come by and give us your name so that I can put you on the list so that when opportunities come, we know who to tap into to share that wonderful energy. It's one of my favorite songs, by the way, that we sing here. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. So we hope to see you there. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce you to Spooky Cat if you haven't met him already. I think you might have met him last week. Well, he wanted to come back this week too. On the 30th of October, we're going to have a painting party. I love to teach step-by-step painting parties because it's just fun, okay? I need some fun. Do you need some fun? Yes. All right. So you just go online to events on the Universal Spirit Center website and click on tickets. Buy yourself one, buy a friend one, buy a relative one, whoever. I can accommodate up to 25 people, so it'd be lovely if it was a big crowd, as it's a fundraiser for the Spirit Center. What else do you need to know? Aprons are provided, so please wear a costume and dress up. I don't want to be alone, all dressed up by myself. Okay. Thanks.
Hello. Technical difficulties. I'm the technical one. Oh, okay. So, let's start over. Let's pretend that last minute didn't happen. My name is Carolyn, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Racial Equality Project. And Gino is back this week after her long vacation. Yay. Have missed her, but oh my gosh, if anyone ever deserved a vacation, it was that woman. So we will have Awakening Wednesday this Wednesday at 6:30. And I don't know, it says Journey with Angels with Margot. That's on Awakening Wednesday? Okay. And then Racial Equality Project, the action for the week is still to answer a question. You can actually do this. You go to our website to answer the question, and then it posts to Facebook. But what's the one thing you've learned about yourself through the Racial Equality Project? We started this about a year ago. So go on and say, okay, what have I learned that I didn't? It's an awareness, really. It's not a learning. It's an awareness that I've gotten in this last year that I didn't have before. The movie of the month is this coming Friday, and it's The Hate You Give. It's a powerful movie about a young black woman's experience with the police, with the cops. Come here. It starts at 6:30. You want to come a little bit early because we'll have, it's a movie, so we'll have like popcorn and drinks and jujubes and stuff like that. And then am I doing the new workshop? No? Okay. And then finally, I've got just this week, a very, very influential person in our lifetimes made his transition. Colin Powell died. And he was, the first black national security advisor in the U.S. history, the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the first black Secretary of State. And even though he was mostly for one political party, in this last few years of his life, he switched. He was an independent thinker and, not just going down one party line. Very influential man. Definitely broke a lot of barriers for a lot of people. And so I just wanted to acknowledge him and as he's made his transition this week. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Hunter Tallman. I'm one of the many licensed prayer practitioners here at Universal Spirit Center. And a new one at that. That's what that's for. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here to guide us in a time of meditation, some silence, reflection, and a reading. We'll start with a reading. We'll spend some time in silence, and I'll bring us out with a prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes, settle into that space right where you are, knowing you have everything you need. And let's just take a deep breath together. Today's reading is from Hafiz, from I Heard God Laughing, Poems of Hope and Joy. There's a beautiful creature living in a hole you have dug. So at night, I set fruit and grains and little pots of wine and milk beside your soft earthen mounds, and I often sing. But still, my dear, you do not come out. I have fallen in love with someone who hides inside you. We should talk about this problem. Otherwise, I will never leave you alone. How beautiful it is to know. How beautiful it is to know these obvious expressions of God happening right here, right now. From the glory of the sunrise to each and every one of you sitting in this room and watching at home online, to the marathon runners running out in the street, a shared experience of triumph and struggle. How obvious it is that God is in all of these moments as an expression of divine beauty. And also, hidden deep inside is also something of beauty. It may be obtuse and sometimes harder to recognize, but at the core of all those obvious things is also divine love, happening in and out as each one of us. And I know that is a thing of perfection, of love, and beauty. It's there on the outside, it's there on the inside, always waiting for us, always there for us, and created by us. And it is knowing all of that that I can simply give in to that love, give in to that beauty, knowing that that thing is God itself. And I'm able to just let it be as I surrender to love.
O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. No greater blessing. O great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. O great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. Love is all is love. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. One in all in one. Join us in singing the music of no greater blessing, no greater blessing, no greater blessing.
Thank you, Jamie. How beautiful. I was struck by the gift and the blessing of these different icons or symbols of a journey. We have Hunter's first time on the platform as a licensed practitioner and celebrating that emergence. And we have Jamie. Jamie was just sharing with me that the Centers for Spiritual Living is nominating him for a doctorate. And he's been such a wonderful spiritual leader in our movement for decades, since when we were little things. But I have been inspired by your music for a long time. So what a wonderful thing to be in community together. And that's what we're talking about this month is home, the sense of home. And today we're talking about being at home in the heart of God. So what is that for me? I think there's a sense of lightness and joy in feeling home and being accepted. I shared this joke on my Facebook page the other day, but I'm a school principal, so I get to be around little humans a lot. And one of the littlest humans, a 4-year-old who just turned 5, shared a joke with me. She said, "Miss Sarah, why does the sun go to school?" And I said, "Why?" And she said, "To get brighter." And then she just laughed and fell out laughing. Just laugh, laugh, laugh. And that sense of laughter, it was like ebullience. It was like bubbly. And I felt like, when I'm laughing, it's a shared moment of connection. And it's a shared, that has that sense of home. It's like Anne Lamott says, laughter is carbonated holiness. There is something holy in that, and humor and feeling at home. I also have that sense of home and humor and acceptance in my family. I have a I have a long list of stories of Sarah moments they've become known as, where different embarrassing moments or things that have happened, and now it's a tradition. Whenever something happens, someone calls or says, "Oh, I just had a Sarah moment." So just for example, like for me in college, I went to UCSD, and I was walking across campus, and I'd gotten up from one class early to book it to the other end of campus for the other class. And I guess when I'd gotten up, I must have, I don't know, I walked halfway across campus, and I felt this breeze waft across my bottom, and then I realized, like, oh, that felt kind of fresh. And I feel back there, and there's no skirt back there. And my skirt had been so tucked up my backpack, I couldn't even see it. So, I just flashed half the campus on a Friday at noon, So it's just having that laughter, that time, but in those moments when I'm having that shared experience with somebody, it's like, you know what, it's all good. Life is good, all is well in this moment. I feel perfectly at ease. I have the divine is being itself uniquely, embarrassingly, beautifully as it can right where I am. So when I think about trying to anchor in that experience of being home in the heart of God, that's what it is. It's like having this infinite divine intelligence that wants to individualize itself as us, knowing itself as it only can be in the most human of its experience right where we are. So, and it's a shared experience. Shared in that it's a community experience too. So there's an individual sense and there's a collective sense. So I often hear that, even just speaking with dear friend Kathy coming in, like, it's so nice to be home, like to come back here and to feel home. So there is something with us being together in a community, whether it's a chosen community, a family, a 12-step group, however we experience, there's something that when we can know the truth for somebody else, when we can see and accept someone for all that they are and all that they're not and all the beautiful ways that their life is unfolding, that's also home. That's also that experience of home. Ernest Holmes says, we should be aware of the immortality of our own souls here and now. We should know that we are the beloved of God, the offspring of eternity, sons and daughters of the living Spirit, born of eternal day. This is the great truth of our being, that we are forever individualizing the Spirit. The great truth that we're beloved, that we have this eternal divine idea that wants to know itself right where we are, as only it can, right where we are. And so what interrupts that? What keeps us from home? What keeps us lost? I think about a symbol from my childhood, going to teen camps. I think some of you know I was raised in this movement, and so I got the privilege of going to youth religious science camps. And I remember this one time, each youth group took a turn leading a service each morning. And so this one group came up with these skits where someone dressed up in this big yellow star. And then the other parts of the group took turns doing little skits and of what clouds over the star. So like one would do a skit about, getting into a fight at home or getting in trouble at home, and then there would be a clump of dirt or something would get thrown on the star, and then maybe someone did a little skit about, in school or comparing themselves to other and finding themselves less than and feeling insecure and awful about themselves, and another little clump would come on. So that image of that there's something that's golden in us that gets obscured and covered over with all the fears and the stuff that gets in the way, that we just allow ourselves to be covered over, and we can temporarily lose sight of what that is, our home place. And I think really it's just this human experience. It's an experience that's been the same for thousands of years. Rev Kevin was talking about the Prodigal Son Story a few weeks ago, and I think about that story, but I think about it in a metaphysical or a Buddhist context. I think that he's telling a story of how people got separated from their good, from losing sight of who they are and the abundance that they're born into, and that's always there, through the different fears. And one is represented with the younger son who wants to take his father's inheritance and go live the high life in the city and drink and carouse and have fun. And he thinks that somehow whatever he needs is not here, it's over there. So it's kind of that fear of missing out, that FOMO that we hear about, that something is not complete here, I must get it out there. It reminds me of the Buddhist notion of grasping, of the two sources of suffering are essentially grasping and aversion. So it's really thinking that there's something that's not okay right where we are, just as we are. And the other would be the older son represents aversion. He's judging himself. He said, I've been here the whole time doing all I needed to do and doing everything for you, and you didn't even give me a goat, let alone like this fatted calf. He's been living in this place of judgment and control and blame and shame and somehow thinking that, again, not enough, just as he is, that flaws and failure is not okay. So he's really embodying this fear of failure. But both experiences are suffering. Both experiences are cutting off from what's true, which is that they were home the whole time, that their fathers, that the abundance and love and acceptance for all that they are, whether they were carousing and making crazy mistakes out in the city or they were here stuck in judgment, it was still there the whole time, and they had been blind to it. They had been cut off from that. And so I think that those two fears tend to take over, and we lose sight of that. So it's really about the spiritual practice that helps us remember to get home, and how we find it. How do we get where we're back to that place? And one of those things is community. It's remembering and being reminded of who we are. I had an experience of when I was young. I was in the Army, and my first assignment was in Germany. And it was this combat engineer unit. And this is long before women were in combat, but I was put in this unit as the only woman. And I felt like it was my chance to be superstar woman, badass. I'm going to kick butt and prove to everybody that I'm this hua woman. And it was fun. I mean, it was a grand adventure. And then about a year later, I was reassigned to Colorado and to be with my husband at the time. And I remember walking into the Church of Religious Science there, Pikes Peak, and an old family friend was the minister there, Mike Baker. He had led these teen camps for years. And I remember walking in and sitting in the back, and I couldn't even take a breath. I just was weeping, and I just cried the whole time. I can't even remember what you talked about, but I just remember that anguish that I had kind of held it together, and I had been living in this ego place, probably like the aversion for the older son, trying to do all these things and prove all these things and deny and be tough and judge, and try to hold myself up against some other standard. And I didn't realize it until I got back into a sense of community with people that were reminding me who I am and what's a larger truth than what I had been in. And so it was that sense. And I think I've heard that from other people coming here, that I've heard that shared time and again, that people come into here and they sit and sometimes they weep in the back, and just our sense, overcome because it's a way to remember. And it's not that part that wherever we were before or whatever we had forgotten was wrong or bad. It's the pain of the waking up and remembering is actually helping us re-anchor in what's so important for us. So for me, it was like remembering that, spiritual practice is important. Being in community and having some people with on a spiritual path together is important for me. Having a regular meditation and spiritual reading and source of inspiration is important. That helps me remember where I am and how to stay home. And that heartbreak, it comes up in all sorts of heroes' journeys and tales and paths. I'm taking the Bhagavad Gita class with Rev Kevin. And so it's coming up there that the heartbreak that Arjuna faces is what ushers in an awareness of who he is. But it was that he didn't have that awareness until he got confronted with losing it and losing his connections as a family member or brother or student or son, and the family members that he's fighting in this battle that's before him, and having to really question what he's doing and face the fear of going forward. It really forces him. And the other thing that's important, I think, about that, some of the aspects of the conversation, and one of the things that Krishna says to him is that I've been here the whole time, that he's always had him, that he is the creative force of the universe, and so he is the beginning, middle, and end. And so wherever he is or wherever he was and wherever he will be, he's always present. And that's what we're waking up to. It also alludes to the fact that there's nothing is ever lost. No one is ever lost on a spiritual path. So when we do forget and we do get lost, that all serves us. It still is part of the journey. It's still all included. It's all needs to be. It's all welcome. Whenever we try to judge that, whatever we've done, whatever mistakes we've made, whatever hurts we've caused, that when we judge that, that's just keeping us still in a place of separation and fear, ultimately. So there is a story I want to read that reminds me of this sense of finding our way home. It's from Glennon Doyle. She's an author, and she writes these irreverent, kind of authentic and baldly honest memoirs. And so this is from her Untamed memoir. It's about her watching something on the Discovery Channel. So she was watching TV, and one of these survivor shows where someone gets dropped in the woods, probably naked and afraid or something, and trying to find their way out. And she's watching and reflecting on the lessons of surviving from the person who's on the show. And she says, he says the most effective strategy is that a lost person can use to increase her likelihood of getting found and thriving is this. She must find herself a touch tree. A touch tree is one recognizable, strong, large tree that becomes the lost one's home base. She can adventure out into the woods as long as she returns to her touch tree again and again. This perpetual returning will keep her from getting too far gone. I've spent much of my life lost in the woods of pain, relationships, religion, career, service, success, and failure. Looking back on those times, I can trace my lostness to a decision to make something outside myself my touch tree. An identity, a set of beliefs, an institution, aspirational ideals, a job, another person, a list of rules, approval, an old version of myself. Now, when I feel lost, I remember that I am not the woods. I am my own tree. So I return to myself and re-inhabit myself. As I do, I feel my chin rise and my body straighten. I reach deeply into the rich soil beneath me, made up of every girl and every woman I've ever been, every face I've loved, every love I've lost, every place I've been, every conversation I've had, every book I've read, song I've sung, everything, crumbling and mixing and decomposing underneath. Nothing wasted. My entire past there, holding me up and feeding me now. All of this too low for anyone else to see. Just there for me to draw from. Then up, all the way to my branches, my imagination, too high for anyone else to see. Reaching beyond, growing toward the light and warmth. Then in the middle, the trunk, the only part of me entirely visible to the world. Pulpy and soft inside. Just tough enough on the outside to protect and hold me. Exposed and safe. I am as ancient as the earth, singular, alive, still growing. I am my own touch tree. I am as ancient as the earth I'm planted in and as new as my tiniest bloom. I have everything I need beneath me, above me, inside me. I'm never going to lose me. So let's breathe that in and feel that sense of the touch tree that we are, that all that has come before us, all that has served us, is decomposing and repurposing and nourishing us from all the lessons we've learned, the mistakes we've made, the times that we've been lost and found our way back to home, found our way back to ourselves. Ernest Holmes says, this divine nature must be infinite, but we know only as much of this nature as we embody. In no other way can God be known to us. And so it's about embodying over and over again, remembering. So much time, so many research studies have shown that when we savor something, when we remember that touch tree, that felt embodied experience of who we are, the truth that we know, it makes it easier and that path gets woven deeper and deeper, so we return to it a little bit quicker the next time and a little bit quicker the next time. I know that's certainly it for me. I still get lost and wander off or get lost in ego or patterns of control or compliance, but I can return back. I can return back and I find those things that anchor in the touch tree for me, whether it's spiritual community here or in a home group or in a 12-step circle. I circle back. And so I want us to think let me share this other thing from the Bhagavad Gita. He also says, "Let the awareness of my love and my life flow through you. Remember me lovingly and with faith, and allow your mind to be always absorbed in me." So just let it be absorbed and saturate into us. Let us remember what that is for us. What does home feel like? If it's laughter, if it's belonging, imagine that sense of being fully accepted and celebrated just as you are in the midst of what you're doing and who you are, and whatever part of the path that may feel lost. There is no lost. No one on the spiritual path is ever truly lost. And so it's all part of this foundation that's serving us. So let's just take a moment and breathe that in, whatever that sense of it is for you. Breathe in and just see if you can allow yourself to feel that sense. What does it feel like to be home in the heart of God for you? Is it a sense of love? Is it a sense of belonging? Is it knowing that you're okay however you are, whatever mistake or whatever failing? Or maybe it's a sense of celebration and inspiration, something that's uniquely you that gets to shine. Just take that in and feel that. Really let that anchor in and feel that as a touch tree. Feel that it's below you in the earth, below you that's cycling up. It's feeding and nourishing you up through this trunk that you are so strong and straight. It's receiving inspiration from all that is around you, this infinite loving consciousness that's shining on the leaves of your tree, filtering its wisdom through you in only the way it can. Just let that anchor into who you are, your truth, that you are home wherever you are, right where you are, just as you are. And so I'm going to close today with another reading, because it's just a way of inspiring and cutting through the mental. So let's take this in. This is a prayer. To me, it's a prayerful reading and a prayerful intention. It's from Howard Thurman. It's from the Inward Journey. It's an oldie but a goodie that's stuck with me all these times. So I'll read it here. It's called "The Moments of My High Resolve." So keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Despite the dullness and barrenness of the days that pass, if I search with due diligence, I can always find a deposit left by some former radiance. But I had forgotten. At the time it was full-orbed, glorious and resplendent. I was sure I would never forget. In the moment of the fullness, I was sure that it would illumine my path for all the rest of my journey. I had forgotten how easy it is to forget. There was no intent to betray what seemed so sure at the time. My response was whole, clean, authentic. But little by little, there crept into my life the dust and grit of the journey, details, lower-level demands, all kinds of cross-currents. Nothing momentous, nothing overwhelming, nothing flagrant. Just wear and tear. If there had been some direct challenge, a clear-cut issue, I would have fought it to the end and beyond. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. So let's close our time to get together today. I'll do a little prayer. So whatever that is for you, we'll call forth that high resolve. Knowing that we are indeed fed, we're right where we need to be, exactly as we are in this moment. That we are that for ourselves. We're creating home in ourselves. The experience of the infinite loving consciousness is knowing itself through us. And that we also create that for others. We create that in this beautiful experience of community wherever we are. That we bring forth that experience of love, empathetic joy, compassion, carbonated holiness, acceptance. That we can create space. We can create space for our own transformation and the transformation of our world around us. So I anchor that in now, and that is indeed truth. That's more true and more powerful than anything else. And it's the easiest thing in the universe for God to be God right here and right now as it can be, right through us. So I give thanks. I allow that unique God being God right as we are to flow through. I celebrate that. I give thanks for that. And I allow it to be. And so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Newly minted Reverend Sarah. Give it up for her one more time, please. So I wrote this song a number of years ago for someone that I heard in a 12-step meeting that was saying, regardless of the religious upbringing and all the catechism and the teaching and the books she's read, she'd never experienced God before. And being a recovering Catholic myself, I could understand that perception of God out there rather than the infinite nature of God that indwells me and wants nothing more than to express the fullness of its Spirit as our lives. So I wrote this song called In the Smallest Ways. From a red bud on my favorite rose bush to the smile on her grandmother's face, to the dew on a single blade of grass, I keep seeing in the smallest ways. From the hoop of an old horned owl to the laughter of children at play, to the first whistle passing my son's lips, I keep hearing in the smallest ways. When I pay such close attention, there's no judgment in my life. There's only love in the smallest ways. In the smallest ways. From the birth of my only baby to the song that I've sung full of grace, to the loss of a mentor not meant to be mine, I keep feeling in the smallest ways. From a breath of night blooming jasmine to your scent permeating my days, I can call to mind what I can't find. I keep breathing in the smallest ways. When I pay such close attention, there's no judgment in my life. There's only love in the smallest ways. In the smallest ways. In the smallest ways. Call it in. From the light of your sweetest kisses to the tear that I stole from your face, and gelato we shared on the boulevard, I keep falling in the smallest ways. When I give it to sweet surrender, and I know that God is in this place, there's only love in the smallest of ways. In the smallest of ways I keep seeing. In the smallest of ways I keep hearing. In the smallest of ways I keep feeling. In the smallest of ways I keep breathing. In the smallest of ways I keep falling. In the smallest of ways.
Jamie Lula, thank you so much. Thanks, Doc. Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Armentrout. I happen to be the administrator at Universal Spirit Center, and I have some businessy things to share with you at this time of giving and receiving. But I'm going to go to the fun part first. So we're coming forward with a fun fundraiser thing I'm calling Feed 'em or Fun 'em. So this is a way a congregant or a member could host something at their home and invite 4 or 5 people. If you have a big house, maybe more than that. And then other folks who want to participate would go online and get basically what is a generic ticket for a Feed 'em ticket. Feed 'em tickets involve food. And the Fun 'em tickets don't have food involved. So the Feed 'em ticket would be a little bit higher, and the Fun ticket. For instance, I'm going to have 4 people at my house, and if you wanted to go, you would put your name under here, and then go get a ticket, and then I'll connect with you. Rev Sarah is going to do a hiking through trails, and you can go with her. She could take up to 10 people. So go online, get a Fun 'em ticket, and then you can go with her after you sign up. Oh, I'm back. So any questions about that, contact me. And those people online, you can contact me at lee@universalspiritcenter.org if you have any questions about Feed 'em or Fun 'em. So all of that's fundraising thing. I have some things to share. Basically, Universal Spirit Center, like all of us, there was pre-COVID Universal Spirit Center, and there's Universal Spirit Center, and there has been a shift. So I'm going to start talking about this, but I want you to know that first and foremost, there's so much gratitude for the giving that's going on right now. Right now, all of the giving. But what we're up against is a gap between what was and was now. So our expenditures are greater than our income. And the cool thing is that we are completely solvent. We have a payroll protection plan loan that keeps us afloat, and that's not a permanent thing. So what we're doing is we're being responsible in addressing the gap. 4 ways, 4 C's. First C is consciousness. So we all the practitioners, the leadership, and I'm inviting all of us to hold the consciousness of good and thriving and abundance as the truth of God as it's happening through Universal Spirit Center. That's the first. The second C, what's my second C? Oh, community. Letting you know what we're up against. I mean, we're family, so this is a family situation. Our gap happens to be $4,200 a month. So that's just the truth. So here's open talk with the community about that. This third C is creativity, and that's where the Feed 'em or Fun 'em came from. So please participate in that, and if you have a fun, creative idea, bring that forward. See me or email me at lee@universalspiritcenter.org. And the last C is not the greatest fun, but it's responsible. We're going to be cutting expenses. We're going to be cutting salaries and so forth. So that's just a way to be good stewards of the money that we have now. And we hold and know that there's only growth happening, there's only thriving happening, and only good happening through us. In our new home. Say yes. Say yes. Yes. So more gratitude, more gratitude, more gratitude. So all of that said, I'm going to ask you to financially support Universal Spirit Center. This is a good place. It's a place where lives get changed. My life was changed here, and it's cool to think about the people who are walking through the front door today or next Sunday or next Wednesday to contribute to that consciousness that's growing. It's individual and global. So I invite you to put your hands on your heart. All of that talking. Let's go into that touch place, that touch tree place. And know all of the good of Spirit indwells each of us now. So I invite you to repeat after me. I'm at home in the heart of God. I live in the consciousness of enoughness. I am living love. So it is.
All that comes my way, and I'm thankful for each and every day, and I'm singing praises to the sky, and I'm dancing, let my spirit fly. I am grateful for all that comes my way, and I'm thankful for each and every day, and I'm drumming like the fiery sun, and I'm praying to be closer to the one. I am grateful for all that comes my way, and I'm thankful for each and every day, and I'm singing praises to the sky, and I'm dancing, let my spirit fly. I am grateful for all that comes my way, and I'm thankful for each and every day, and I'm drumming like the fiery sun, and I'm praying to be closer to the one. I am grateful. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm grateful. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm grateful for each and every day. Thank you.
All right, so thank you. Okay, well, thank you all. Appreciate everyone who's here online. Thank you for joining us and making your way here. And let's go ahead and stand, and we'll complete our service. We'll do a benediction and our closing song. So let's just anchor in this thankfulness, anchor in this sense of home within ourselves that we're never lost from. We can never truly be separate from. Anchoring in that touch tree, that tree of abundance, of love, of belonging, of acceptance for all that is and all that sustains and nurtures us. So I breathe that in. I give thanks for the good that is in us, the good that is in the world that we're helping usher forth. And so I say thank you, Infinite Spirit. I know it is done. It is already so, and so it is. Amen.
Please join us in singing We Let the Love. We let the love. We let the love wash over us, and we let, yes, we let it be. We let the joy, and we let the joy wash over us, and we let And grace, we let the grace. And we let